Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Ki Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. So welcome to the Sunday morning session on Science of Self-Realization. We have been discussing on a very important topic since last week on the subject of crime. Crime, why and what to do. So this is a conversation which Prabhupada had with one of the police officers in America. So many relevant questions with regard to what is going on in the present day society was being asked to Prabhupada by this police official in 1975 in Chicago. And Prabhupada very wonderfully answered them from the Vedic perspective. Right? So we'll continue our discussions on this subject. And all these discussions, what we are having is the inspiration from His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, who has so mercifully given us all these teachings, has recorded all of them for us, for our better understanding and reference again and again. If Prabhupada had not done this for us, we would not have any such knowledge for us right now. So Prabhupada did this very meticulously. From the time he went to America, with some savings, what he could make, 1966 February, he purchased one tape recorder. And whenever he used to talk with someone and give classes, he used to record. So we have recordings as early as March 1966, until the time he was physically present, November 1977. So practically for almost 11 years, the recordings of Prabhupada, of different talks, conversations, lectures, many such things we have in our for our usage. Right? This is one special gift we can say Prabhupada has given us with his own voice. And pure devotees, their shabda, sound is transcendental. Hearing them is always very much purifying, right? There is a special, mercy of Prabhupada on all of us. So in the previous session, part 1, we discussed the following points. We first discussed what is the definition of crime and why people are doing crime and what is the reason for performing crime. Crime, even according to the modern day understanding, is when you trample on the rights of another person, you encroach upon another's property or another, say, rights, then that is crime. So Prabhupada gives the Vedic perspective. This is what our Vedic scriptures also say. One of the Upanishads by name Ishopanishad, it gives this understanding that everything belongs to God. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat. And everybody has the right to use what is allotted to him. Right? So we should not unnecessarily encroach upon another's property. If you do that, it is crime. This is what the Upanishad statement says. So Prabhupada confirmed this is what our scriptures say. And right now, main reason why people are committing crime is that they are lacking this understanding that everything belongs to God. God is the owner of all the property. Prabhupada gave a classic example sitting in America to this police officer that you people, Americans, have come few hundred years ago you have captivated or captured this land and claiming that it is your land. It is also a crime. And your American Constitution says, in God we trust. But unless you know who that God is, how can you have trust? It's like, you know you have a father, but you should know who is your father. So this way, Prabhupada very nicely explained the main reason why people are committing crime is that people are having no understanding about God. There's no conception of God. Right? So further, Prabhupada gave a solution also, how to stop crime. The easiest way to stop crime, Prabhupada says, recommended in this present age, is to have Sankirtana, or the mass congregation, mass assembling of people, and together you glorify God's holy names. That is called Sankirtana. It's the easiest way. So he recommended, if this can happen regularly, in a systematic manner, everywhere, crime will be stopped. Why? Because of no God conception, because of people lacking the understanding of God. Now their hearts are dirty. Their hearts are filled with a lot of dirty things like uncontrollable lust and greed. And when people are driven by these uncontrolled lust and greed, then their actions also will be accordingly very much disturbing to everybody in society. That is the reason Prabhupada is recommending, if the hearts have to be cleaned, hearts have to be purified, then Sankirtana is the only process. When you chant the holy names of God, that will purify the heart of everyone. Whether it's like, it's a powerful, say, energy entering in our consciousness. Very nice example Prabhupada gives in one context. It's like when the lion roars, even the elephants become afraid. So Prabhupada says, when Lord Krishna's sound is vibrated, it's like roaring of a lion, all the different elephants of uncontrollable lust and greed sitting in our heart will run away. Right? Such a wonderful example Prabhupada gives. Now, to make us understand how this Hare Krishna mantra, which is Lord Krishna's names, is so powerful. And Prabhupada was telling that this will actually change society. If we can somehow organize this in a systematic manner, mass Sankirtana happens, then it will change the face of society. And this is what distinguishes us between man and animal. Man can actually take up this path of dharma, which is actually in the Kali Yuga, present age is known as age of quarrel, age of crime actually, where people are fighting and wanting to trample on another's rights. Is only creating a lot of problems. Just like present day you're seeing society, the present situation of wars going on in different parts of the world. It's just that we want that you're occupying our land, so you have to vacate this place. It's going on all over the world in different shapes and forms. I heard there are more than 22 wars, some reported, some unreported, all over the world going on. Main reason is this: trampling over another's rights, right? So unless this mass Sankirtan is organized, we will remain on the animal platform, because animals always want to encroach upon others' properties, and they want to just fight. So this is the prime duty of the government. Prabhupada says, how to educate people in God consciousness. And the easiest way is to make them perform Sankirtana in a systematic manner, because government has the power, government has the resources, government has under its under its rule, it can order people to do things. Then people have to follow, right? So if government can somehow make people God conscious, then things will change. Let's continue our discussions. So Prabhupada brings out a very wonderful concept on the meaning of religion. Actually, this whole talk is between Prabhupada and one police official. So the talks vary from different subjects. And Prabhupada is trying to answer every question of this police officer from the Vedic perspective in a very wonderful way, right? Very convincing way. So in this particular point, which will be discussed, Prabhupada is going to explain the meaning of religion. So this police officer is asking, wouldn't peace be a precursor to a return to religion? Must we not first have peace? Right? Prabhupada says, no, that is the difficulty. At the present moment, no one actually knows the meaning of religion. This is a very important point Prabhupada is making. Right? This police officer was telling, so first let us have peace in society. Then maybe we can follow religion. Prabhupada says other way. First, let's understand what is religion. People don't know what is religion. How can you expect peace? This is exactly what Krishna also explains in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Unless you are following the principles of dharma, unless you are abiding by the principles of dharma, how can you be happy? How can you be peaceful? This has been stressed in many places in the whole Bhagavad Gita. Again and again, repeatedly, Krishna stresses this point. Right? If you are not faithful in the scriptural understanding, in the laws given by God, dharmic principles, then how we can expect happiness in this life or next? In fact, there's a statement in the one of the verses of Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna says, Yashastra vidhim utsrujya vartate kama karata. One who is disregarding the directions given in the standard books of understanding, the scriptural understanding, and acts whimsically. Nasa siddhim avapnoti na sukham param gatim. He'll not have perfection, he'll not be happy, and forget about achieving the final goal of life. This is what Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita. So this is the point. So Prabhupada is trying to tell spiritual well-being is followed by material well-being. If you are spiritually healthy, then all the other things, materially, whatever you are looking for, will simply follow. It's a very important principle Prabhupada is trying to explain here. So the problems which we are facing right now of disturbance, people getting agitated, is all why? Because people don't have the conception of what is dharma. People don't know what is the meaning of dharma. Prabhupada says, religion means to abide by the laws of God, just as good citizenship means to abide by the laws of the government. It's a definition of what is religion. Religion means the laws given by God and to be abiding by them. Just as good government has some laws given, and the good citizen will simply follow the rules given by the government. Because no one has any understanding of God, no one knows the laws of God or the meaning of religion. In our previous discussions also, we have many times taken this point. Right now, people say religion is just simply one designation. Just like I am working in some organization with some designation, so I am rubber stamping myself as belonging to some faith. I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am Christian, I am Jew. That is, we are simply rubber stamping, but actually, what is the principle of my religion? I don't know. What I am supposed to be doing. This is the problem. So religion right now has become simply a external aspect of a person. Nobody knows what is the real understanding of religion and what is the meaning of God, understanding God's various laws. Nobody has any in-depth understanding of this. So this is the present status of people in today's society. They claim themselves to profess of a particular religion. I belong to this. But what does it mean for you? no understanding. They are forgetting religion, taking it to be a kind of faith only. Right? So Prabhupada says, faith may be blind faith. Faith is not the real description of religion. This is a very important, very fine understanding Prabhupada gives with regard to the definition of religion. Actually, this religion is an English word. The Sanskrit root, the Sanskrit word is dharma. Dharma, in one sense, is not exactly what the English translation of religion. Religion in the modern day context is taken to be a kind of faith. Faith means I believe something, strongly believe in something. Now I can change my belief. That is not the meaning of dharma. Dharma means which is very constitutional to you, very much part of our nature. Prabhupada gives an example of how being salty is the nature of that item called salt. Or being sweet is the nature of sugar. Very intrinsic aspect of any particular object, an item, is called dharma. Right? So, in the present day context, people feel that I have right now this belief, and tomorrow I'll change this belief to some other belief. So there's no problem. This is not the definition of dharma actually. Dharma basically means you have a particular intrinsic nature, which is actually the aspect of service. Service to others. This you cannot change. Either you serve with a designation of I being a Hindu or a Muslim. It's all you have to do service. So Prabhupada gives this understanding from Bhagavad Gita. As a living entity, our intrinsic nature is to serve, do service. So we have been serving so many aspects, so many entities around us. We're not finding satisfaction. When you actually start serving our Father, real Father, our the origin of everything in this creation, that is going to give us satisfaction, real satisfaction. This is the definition what is given in the scriptures. Right? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Atma suprasidati means when you can feel satisfaction, when you can feel real happiness, is that when you engage your service propensity to serve the Supreme, who is the source of everything, who is maintaining you, who is protecting you. So this faith in one sense is a misnomer with regard to the definition of or understanding of what is religion. It is not the real, doesn't describe the aspect of dharma in a real way. So Prabhupada says faith is not the real description of religion. Religion means the laws given by God, and anyone who follows those laws is religious, whether a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim. Right? Just you may follow in different ways, but it has to be the authentic laws given by God. In various different time, place, circumstances, God has appeared and has given different instructions. So just abide by them. So Prabhupada goes on to say how in India, even now, mostly people are religious. 80% people are religious. So this police officer further he asks, with all due respect, isn't it true that in India, where religious customs have been followed for centuries upon centuries, we're seeing not a return but a drawing away from spiritual life? Very valid question being asked by this police officer. That yes, you say you have to follow the religious principles. People have forgotten religious aspects in life. They're simply blindly claiming themselves to belong to religion, but they don't follow the principles in spirit. So even in India, which is supposed to be a religious place or a place of spirituality, there also people are not following. What do you say about it? This was the question. So Prabhupada says, yes, It is a fact that what you have said is, even in India, it is not happening, but it is only due to bad leadership. Leaders are blind, so the followers are also not, having any such understanding. Otherwise, Prabhupada says the vast majority of the Indian people are fully conscious of God and they try to follow the laws of God. Actually, if you carefully analyze in our country, mostly people are, by culture, by upbringing, the different various situations, circumstances, they have this aspect of following dharma in their blood. Right? Just like we're all following the Navaratra, the 9-day ceremony now. Everybody is busy in festival. At least as a part of the culture we have brought up, everybody is somehow exposed to some type of the various religious systems. So, Prabhupada says that way, majority of people are conscious of God. They try to follow religious principles. Whereas in the West, even big college professors do not believe in God or in life after death. In Western countries, Prabhupada is actually referring this to a conversation he had with one Russian Indology professor, supposed to teach religious studies to students in Russia. He was telling Swamiji, after death, there is nothing, everything is finished. So they don't believe in life after death, they don't believe in God. This is the way. They're all atheistic, agnostic. Whereas Prabhupada says in India, even the poorest man believes in God and in next life. This is something very much ingrained in our understanding. Right? Everybody has this understanding. He knows that if he commits sins, he will suffer, and if he acts piously, he will enjoy. Right? They are all aware of karma, how it will affect our lives now also and in the future also. So they are responsible and careful in their actions. To this day, if there is a disagreement between two villagers, they will go to the temple to settle it. Because everyone knows that the opposite parties will hesitate to speak lies before the deities. It is a fact. Villages even now, any such matters of controversy are all taken to the temple and discussed there, so that nobody will speak untruth. Everybody speaks the truth. So in that way, this sentiment is very strong, or this understanding is very strong. Very nice, simple story Prabhupada says how this aspect of the principles of dharma being right in our actions is so much inbuilt in our consciousness. Once, few people went for a pilgrimage, and in that group, there was also one thief, a professional thief. So, they were on the way and about to reach the destination. One day they had to halt somewhere because it was some more distance to move forward. So in the night, this thief, who was a professional thief, he had this habit of stealing things in the night. So all was sleeping and he was also part of that whole group. So he was feeling, I had to steal something now. All are sleeping, all bags are, everybody kept their bags along with them and easy to steal. But immediately got a thought that if I do this in this auspicious time of going to a holy place, pilgrimage place, it will not be good. So what did he do? Whole night he was just keeping or changing bags positions. One bag here, one bag there, one bag here. So he actually didn't want to. He had the propensity to steal, but he restrained himself from stealing. Rather, he was doing this activity of misplacing the bags, keeping the bags here and there. So morning when everybody got up, they were all surprised. Oh, where is my bag? Where is my bag? They were in panic. So this thief finally came out and spoke. See, actually, I am a professional thief, but I wanted to steal, but I restrained myself because I thought this is not proper. So this is what I did. So kindly excuse me. So this story Prabhupada says how this aspect of being religious in India is so strong in everybody, right? And there are situations and cases wherein the thief may do anything, but when it is before God in the temple, he will try to be honest and be very sincere, right? So like this, Prabhupada goes on to say, so in most respects, India is still 80% religious in that way. So this is a special privilege of taking birth in India and a special responsibility also. Because India is a land of dharma, land of spiritual cultivation, right? Dharma kshetra. So in that way, we are very fortunate to be born as Indians. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very nicely says, in his own words, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Krishna himself. He says, Bharata bhumite haila manushya janma yara, janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. Right? You've taken birth in land of India as a human. It is a very fortunate situation. Please perfect your lives and also spread this message of perfection to as many people as possible. This is the biggest welfare activity you can do, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Anyone who has taken birth in India should make his life perfect by becoming Krishna conscious. Then he should distribute Krishna consciousness all over the world. The recommendation which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives. So, like this, Prabhupada is trying to answer the questions that yes, the bad leadership has brought about a lot of degradation in the following of religious principles. Nevertheless, if the people are properly given opportunity, they will again follow the principles of dharma nicely, because this aspect of dharma is ingrained in the people who are born in India. It's a special qualification they have, right? In fact, Prabhupada used to conduct pandal programs when during 1970s in different parts of India, Kolkata, Delhi, Bombay. So people used to come in huge numbers to attend, right? 20,000, 30,000 people used to come every day for almost 10 days. Every day, this many people used to come and attend. So Prabhupada used to say to his Western disciples, see, in your Western countries, if you have such programs, you'll only have few hundreds. In India, it's your sentiment, because in India, people are mostly religious. They want to go on with their life of religion. There's one more next point Prabhupada is going to bring up, is about too much wealth is a block. So this police officer is continuing his discussion. Sir, there is a Christian parable that says that it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to come before the throne of God. Do you think the wealth of the United States and other Western countries is a block to spiritual faith? Because Western countries are too much opulent, too much wealthy. Do you think that this is going to be sort of a hindrance for spiritual faith or religious following? Prabhupada says, yes, too much wealth is a block. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. Prabhupada quotes from Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya apurta chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhau na vidhiyate. If one is materially very opulent, he forgets God. That's what Krishna says. Because what happens, the material opulence is bewildering. Taya abhurata chetasam means your intelligence, your mind will be bewildered. It will be fully absorbed in that. Oh, I have so much of wealth. I have to safeguard this like this. I have to use it for my gratification like this. This is what happens. Therefore, too much material wealth is a disqualification for understanding God. Because Father says, although there is no absolute law that only the poor man can understand God, generally, if one is extraordinarily rich, his only ambition is to acquire money, and it is difficult for him to understand spiritual teachings. It's normal. Not that, person who is rich, he cannot understand, or rather he will not take up spirituality, but generally speaking, this is what is the trend. And there is no such rule that, oh, he's very poor, so he'll become very spiritual. No. Either way, Prabhupada says, mostly the tendency is that people who are too opulent, the chances of taking up spirituality is less, because they are so absorbed in opulence. Bhoga, Aishwarya. Bhoga means material enjoyment, and Aishwarya means too much opulence. They are absorbed in these two aspects. So, not easy for them to take up spirituality. So, Prabhupada also brings up one more very nice point on the aspect of essence of all religion is the same. So this police officer is continuing. In America, those who belong to Christian faith also believe these things. What things? Whatever Prabhupada has told so far, that too much wealth is a block. People are not religious. People don't have proper understanding of religion, all these things. So I don't see any vast difference between the spiritual beliefs of one religious group and another. Right? So Prabhupada says, yes, that's what the essence of all religion is the same. There's no difference. Our proposal is that whatever religious system one follows, we should try to understand God and love Him. This is what Prabhupada went all over the world and preached. Right? He never said that, oh, you are following something, so you take up, convert, you take up this, what I'm telling you. No, Prabhupada never said that. If you are a Christian, you chant the name of God in your religion. Whatever religion you follow, you chant the name of God in that religion. Right? Prabhupada never said, you should change to our faith or our way of functioning. No. Prabhupada always encouraged the standard or the authentic religions in the world have all the same message. Essence is the same. Just that according to different time, place, circumstance, the instructions may be appearing to be different, but the essence is what, in whatever religion you are following, whatever religion you are abiding by, try to understand God and love Him. If you are a Christian, we do not say it is not good, you must become like us. No. Our proposition is that whether you are a Christian, Muslim, or Hindu, simply try to understand God and love Him. That's all. This is the very universal teaching which Prabhupada has taken all over the world. Whatever religion you designate yourself to belong to, now you simply try to understand God and love Him. That is the purpose of human life. Simply rubber stamping yourself or designating yourself as belonging to some religion and not following it is what mostly people in the present age are. 99.9% people simply have put a rubber stamp on their heads. Oh, my religion is so and so, but they don't know what is the purpose of religion, what is that I'm supposed to be doing. That's why Bhagavad Gita says such people are called lowest of the mankind, Naradhama. You're supposed to be the best of the humans, but you become lowest of the humans without understanding the purpose of human life. We may boast ourselves of being scientifically very advanced, being up to date with all the technological advancements, politically, socially, economically, very strong. But where are we leading towards? Where are we heading towards? This is the point. Right? We are heading towards the darkest region of hell. Our destination will be, if we don't practice the principles of the duties of human life with regard to coming out of the cycle of birth and death, we'll be again gliding down, degrading ourselves. That is, it's called Naradhama. You are given a specific position in this human form of life to lead a responsible duty, that's responsible function. That you are not doing. That's why you'll be again degraded. That's the point. So, Prabhupada very nicely explains that we are not opposed to any religious system. Rather, we are telling whatever religion you are following, you simply try to understand God and love Him. And Prabhupada again reiterates the easy solution to reduce crime. Says, the police officer is again asking, if I could return to my original purpose for coming, Might I ask what advice you could give to assist us in reducing crime? So Prabhupada says, I recognize that the first and foremost way would be a return to God, as you say. There's no doubt about it. This police officer is continuing telling. In fact, he is understanding what Prabhupada has spoken, that you have to make people religious, they have to return to God, they have to understand about God. I fully agree with you. But is there something that we could immediately do to diminish this spreading criminal mentality? What we could do? Sort of crime everywhere, a lot of unrest everywhere. So some solution that immediately will bring things under control. Prabhupada says, yes, as I've already outlined in the beginning of our talk, you should give us the facility to chant the holy name of God and distribute prasada. See, Prabhupada's formula is very simple. You give us facilities in a mass scale, large scale, to organize chanting of the holy name of God, Sankirtana, and distribution of prasada. This is going to really, really bring a transformation. In fact, taking this Prabhupada's instructions, every temple of Iskcon, Hare Krishna movement, is distributing prasada in huge quantities, especially from Iskcon, Bangalore. We started this Akshaya Patra program almost 22 years ago. And right now, there's more than 20 lakh children every day receiving this prasadam. And the effect of this prasadam will be what? Prasada means mercy of Krishna. When children are having this every day for a considerable number of years, their hearts will be cleaned. Right? When the heart is cleaned, there is no place for dirty things like uncontrollable lust, greed. There is a very good opportunity to understand God. So along with this, if government can give facilities to organize mass Sankirtana, that is going to solve the problem. So Prabhupada is again, reconfirming what is the easy solution. There will be a tremendous change in the population if we do this in our large scale Sankirtana and prasada distribution. Prabhupada gives his own personal example. I came alone from India and now I have many followers. What did Prabhupada do? He says, what did I do? I asked them to sit down and chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and afterward I distributed a little prasada. That's all. There's only two things I did. This is what common man can understand and rather he can easily do. Eating anything will immediately accept. Anybody will accept, right? So just give him prasada. Prasada means the food offered to Lord Krishna. Spiritual. Right? And chanting Hare Krishna. Anybody can vibrate Hare Krishna mantra. So Prabhupada says, this is what I did. And it is giving, if this is done on a mass scale, the entire society will become very pleasing. This is a fact. This is the Yuga Dharma for this Kali Yuga. Yuga Dharma means in the present age, people are not having that much intelligence to understand the philosophy, what is given in the scriptures. To analyze and get into details and again following them, not easy. Simplest and easiest process for anybody and everybody all over the world is chanting the holy name of Krishna and accepting prasada. And Prabhupada is telling, I have done this, practically demonstrated this. All over the world I have traveled, every nook and corner. And this is demonstrated now. This is practically feasible. So why don't the government accept this and give us more opportunities? It will stop the crime immediately. So like this, Prabhupada goes on. We will conclude this session in the next coming week and try to understand this subject matter fully. So I'll conclude here for today. If anybody is going to ask, discuss, take up a few questions and comments. So Janardhan ji, your question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
What was your question?
Actually, in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, here it says that 10 subjects are described as the creation. Here in 10 subjects are described the creation, ingredients of the cosmos, the creation of the Brahma, etc. And all this. The 10th item is the shelter of all the others.
Yes.
I don't know. To distinguish the ultimate shelter from the other 9 subjects, the Mahajans have described these 9 directly or indirectly through prayers or direct explanation.
Okay.
I actually, this is in chapter 2 actually, text 91 actually, 91, 92. Okay. How the 10 cantos are related in this 10 items that he has mentioned, the ultimate shelter.
So the subject matter of Bhagavata is nevertheless this question is not not connected to this today's topic, but nevertheless I would like to answer this question. So basically, just like Bhagavad Gita is having 5 topics to discuss mainly. Ishvara, Jiva, Prati, Kala, and Karma. The 5 topics in Bhagavad Gita. Very nicely, Krishna explains all of them in entire Bhagavad Gita. Likewise, the Bhagavata is having 10 topics to discuss. Okay. The first is called creation. How this world was created. And secondly, topic of further creation, secondary creation. First, the primary creation. There's ingredients, just like when you construct a building. Want to construct a building, you need primary ingredients like cement, sand, bricks, steel, etc., right?
Yes.
That is primary ingredients required. That has to be procured.
Yeah.
And secondary creation is you will get a contractor or engineer and they will start, say, permutation combination they do and then start building the structure based on the ingredients you have provided. Right? True. Like this, primary creation, secondary creation. After creation, there is supposed to be maintenance of this whole cosmos.
Yeah.
And then there is supposed, just like we are discussing today on the aspect of crime. Why crime becomes a very serious topic of concern for police and judicial aspects is that because there are mostly the population are common citizens who are all who are supposed to be protected properly, right? So maintenance of the creation and protection of the faithful, right? So this is also important.
Very
like this, there are and during this course of creation, maintenance, protection, there is also change of time influencing all of us, right? It's like now again there is an election going to happen next year. Term of the old government is going to end and new government is going to come. So like this, in the universal cosmos time scale, every day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, okay, who are going to take charge. In one day of Brahma, there are 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas.
4 yugas, yeah.
So this is, like this, 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas is divided into 14 parts. So every Manu will get at least 71 cycles of 4 yugas. So this 71 cycles, right now we have covered 7 Manus. So the 7th Manu time is running now. 6 Manus time is over. 7th Manu's present time of what we are living now is the 7th Manu's 28th cycle of 4 yugas, that is Kali Yuga. 28th cycles Kali Yuga we are living right now. That is the time, specific time as on today.
Yeah.
So this is what is explained here. Manvantara as explained in Bhagavata.
Yes.
Manus, when did they come? What was the dynasties? Manu means the father of mankind. And Manu's main duty is to teach all of us what is the responsibility, what is the, just like we have been discussing today in our session. Government's duty is to teach people about God consciousness.
Yes.
The duty of Manu is again the representative of Krishna. He is supposed to teach the humanity about the various principles, give guidance to humanity. What is that you're supposed to do? Don't simply whimsically act. These are described in the Bhagavata.
Yeah.
And also, there is description of various, while these Manvantaras keep changing, there are different incarnations of Krishna which also appear at scheduled times. Right? Different incarnations like Leela Avatara, pastime incarnations. Now there are incarnations of the different modes, Guna Avatara, the incarnations which are empowered. Right? Guna Avatara, example, you can have Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva.
Sure.
The incarnations were empowered. It's like Parashurama was empowered incarnation. There's an incarnation of Narada, was again empowered incarnation. So like this, different incarnations are described in the whole Bhagavata. And finally, you mentioned about the topic of shelter. Right? Ultimate shelter is, we have to, all these are happening by Krishna. So these topics, these 10 topics are all described in the entire Bhagavatam. Specifically, the first 9 topics, first 9 cantos, or the first 9 parts of Bhagavata. The Bhagavata has 12 parts. The first 9 parts is specifically describing about these various aspects of the different subjects of Bhagavata, touching all of them in different ways, and then trying to build up the concept of the final shelter is Krishna. And along with, in one of the 10 topics is also winding up. Right? The creation, what is created? Creation, maintenance, annihilation. Right? So, finally, creation happens from Krishna, is maintained by Krishna, and it's going to merge with Krishna. This is what Bhagavatam explains. And Krishna is, and this Bhagavatam explains that finally everything rests in Krishna. Krishna is a shelter. Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Param Dhama means he is the ultimate refuge, ultimate shelter, ultimate goal. So if you start speculation that, oh, this creation has no basis, this creation has simply happened automatically, creation is just happening, by some hook or crook, just like modern way scientists, they say Big Bang theory, that theory, this. There are so many theories which has no basis, no proper understanding of how this happened. So Bhagavatam is giving a very scientific approach. Prabhupada says Bhagavatam is a science of God.
Yes.
So it is describing very scientifically what is this world around you and what is going on. Just like we should say, oh, in India right now we have this government running and this is the ministers, this is the profile, this is the portfolio of ministers, and all this very specific, right? This given time.
Yes.
Like this, from the universal perspective, there are specific things happening. You being part of the universe, you are supposed to know at least this much. That's what Bhagavatam is telling. And to know this, there are so many historical incidents being depicted with these 10 subject matters in the Bhagavatam. So that we understand the whole subject, because right now, philosophically understanding them is not easy for us.
Sure.
Right. So these subject matters are very nicely described in a very historical manner, as a pastime, as a story, with regard to what happened. Lord came in this incarnation of Kurma Avatara. How did the devotees interact with Lord, and the various aspects of how Lord protected, just like the pastime of Lord Narasimha appearing. That is specifically to protect his devotee, Prahlada.
Yeah.
So different incarnations have appeared to demonstrate, or rather to show everybody how Lord is, when he comes, what all he does, and how he does, how he actually protects his devotees, he maintains his devotees. All these things are described in the Bhagavatam. So basically, these 10 topics are all spread out in the whole Bhagavatam. And to finally bring us to the point of conclusion that the ultimate ashraya is shelter is Krishna. So that the 10th canto specifically describes about that, the complete description of Krishna. Nevertheless, other cantos also describe, but not in that detail. Mention is there, but detailed description of the shelter is in 10th canto. Okay.
Yeah.
The other balance 2 cantos, 11 and 12, is telling about winding up.
Oh.
Okay. So like this, the subject matters are all, very nicely explained. Just like the 5 subject matters of Bhagavad Gita is throughout the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Likewise, the 10 subject matters are throughout the Bhagavatam. If you carefully analyze and, carefully read them, you will understand so nicely it is, presented. This is what you're supposed to understand otherwise. Right? In any common, even our common dealings, it's what happens. Just like a family of husband, wife, children, relatives, and it came into existence at one point of time when the boy and girl marriage happened, then family established, then children, then the maintenance, protection, then after some time, children got married. That's what we see.
Yes.
Similar description is there from the universal time scale, with historical references of various, incidents which has happened with Lord and his devotees in various incarnations of Krishna. So Bhagavatam is giving us a worldview of many aspects of the whole existence, which otherwise we are only thinking, my limited understanding of my family, maybe my relatives' families, or maybe in a particular location. It's like, Prabhupada says, we are like Kupa Manduka. We are like frog in a well. We think it's everything for me. No, there's a much bigger world. This world is also very insignificant, what you're living. Like this, there are so many unlimited material aspects in this whole creation. And beyond this, there is spiritual world. This understanding Bhagavatam is giving us. Okay. So this is what these 10 subject matters are trying to explain to us. It's giving a whole spectrum of understanding with regard to our real situation in the present context, and how to come out of this situation to our real existence of spiritual existence, which is actually our normal situation, constitutional situation. Okay. In detail, basically, Bhagavad Gita is talking in a very basic manner. Bhagavatam is elaborating on it. That's the only difference.
Sure.
Okay. Fine. Please read Bhagavatam carefully. It will help you to understand many things. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Fine. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Any other question? Or any other comment?